Good afternoon, everybody. I think one of the most useless things that I did was went to dental school, except I can talk to you now about something. It's called postprandial depression, which is the worst thing a speaker can have. Does anybody know what postprandial depression is? I thought so. Okay, postprandial depression is you went out because you had a buffet lunch, you may have stuffed yourself for lunch, and right now you're feeling real tired, real sleepy. And what you're thinking is, how fast can I get this guy off the floor? Well, I'm here to help you because I'm gonna be in and out very quickly, and let's see if we can give you a little bit of a description of what Tax Title Services does and what kind of value we add to the industry. TTS, Tax Title Services, we're domiciled in Newport Beach, California. If anybody's looking for a job, it's not a bad place to live, so we'll take applications. 15 years in the business. What's good about 15 years in the business is in 15 years, 20,000 titles, a little bit better, we have never had to pay a claim. And think about the type of title that you're getting. If you're an investor and you get a tax deed, you have a major problem. That wasn't in a building, was it? You have a problem because these are distressed titles. There's always something wrong with them. That's why it went to a tax sale or a deed sale, and when you buy it, you inherit that problem. What we do is we endeavor. Are you okay? I thought you were focused on the guy out there. What we do is we eliminate those problems for you. Anytime you have a distressed title or even a regular real estate transaction, you always run the chance of having some problem with it after the sale. And that's what we get rid of. So, Tax Title Services is basically covering all of the deed states in the United States, so that if you've purchased a tax deed in the continental United States, we can help you. We can even help you there too. All right. What we do is we are not title insurance people. What we do is we qualify your title for title insurance. What does that mean? We look at every aspect of the title. We look at the foreclosure file. We go back and do a 40-year break and chain of title record, so that we can, by the time we finish eliminating all of the defects on the title, we present it to one of our national title underwriters, and they will provide the title insurance for you. The reason that you do this is once you buy a deed and the property has some appreciable value to it, it's much easier to take that title, clean it up, and then sell it to another party, whether it's an end buyer or another investor. So it's very important that you, when you're buying your deeds, to get the best value that you can out of them, and that's basically what we do. We help you do that. You see that we do our titles in 30 to 60 days, and that's pretty quick, because if you try to go with the alternative, which is an attorney doing a quiet title, if anybody's done that in here, you know that you're subject to the court dates that you have to appear. You have an attorney that works on it by the hour, and it sometimes can take as much as 4 to 6 months to get the quiet title, as opposed to 30 to 60 days. It's a little bit more expensive for an attorney, and it's a little bit longer. So that's where the real value is with Tax Title Services, our ability to do it, as we say, faster and cheaper than a quiet title. All right. Most of you know as investor, these are some of the benefits when you have title insurance. You can get financing on your property. You can also, with title insurance, you have reduced liability, because once you have title insurance, as you know with any other type of insurance, that's what you're doing. You're hedging against the risk. The value increases obviously, because most people, when they're buying titles that are not insured, they usually are buying them in investor pools, and then they come to us anyway to add the value to the end product. Let's see. We have ventured out recently, and what we've been doing is working with taxing authorities. What we do is we indemnify the taxing authority from risk if they use our service. In places like South Carolina, for example, which is a strict compliance state, which means if one aspect of the title or one aspect of the process was done incorrectly, it negates the entire sale. It's sale in error, and you've lost your investment. So what we do is we have been working, and it's been growing. We've been working with the taxing authorities saying, look, if we are allowed to tell you who to notice, we will indemnify you. So that also benefits you folks, because you'll know that if we did the noticing on the front end, that tax sale has built-in insurance on the back end. Once again, 45 to 60 days with us compared to 4 to 6 months in many cases with an attorney. And if there's some attorneys in here that do it faster, and there are, I'm just saying, I'm just quoting an average, but that's where we're at. You see our cost. It's less than $2,000, depending upon the value of the property. You're looking at $1,700 to $1,900, and once again, that includes the rush of getting it done in 30 to 60 days. So, is everybody a title expert now? Because I'm finished. I hope, and nobody fell asleep. That's why I cut the slides a little bit more each time, so that I can say I had a perfectly attentive audience for my thing. So, if you'd all like to give a round of applause. Oh, come on, guys, come on. Little love here. All right. Is there any questions about, yes, sir?
I understand when you buy the property and you keep it for 1 year, you don't have to come and insure it. Is that true?
In which state?
California.
California?
Yeah.
Jesse, you want to answer that?
That is true. The defect exists for 1 year, so if you just sit on the property for a year, then it will take care of itself.
Did you hear that?
Okay.
Yeah. Different states have different laws governing a period of time. There's a period where if you're willing to wait, yes, Florida has a couple of periods like that. Most states do, but the thing is, if you're in a competitive industry now, back in the day, you could do that and wait your 4-year period, your 10-year period, and you wouldn't have to do title clearing, because it's already statutorily in the provision that when you bought the property. Nowadays, with multiple investors bidding properties up, there's competition. So it behooves you to not wait for the statute, not to wait for the statutory time period, but to get it, whether you use an attorney or you use us. I would highly recommend that you guys do that and avail yourself of avoiding the bad news of finding out that you bought something and now it's been taken away from you. Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Oh, sorry.
What about vacant land?
What about vacant land?
From California.
Uh-huh.
I always use your services all the time, you know. So what about vacant land? How much you charge for that? Is there less fee on vacant land?
We do about the same thing. It's about we could probably do a little bit less on that because vacant land, because when you have a structure on it, it adds more value to the property. But depending upon how many lots you're doing, like for example, in Sacramento area, we're doing a project with a company called Hello California. It's a nonprofit that is doing infill projects for low-income housing. Stuff like that, we tend to reduce our fees to help nonprofits. So if you want to become nonprofit, we'll be happy to help you. All right. Okay, any other questions? All right, thanks again, appreciate it.